Just move forward, Jim. Just lean in. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Further. There she is. Believe me, it's not your best angle.
Okay, welcome everybody. Everyone back from lunch? They are. Okay. We're live streaming, Dan, correct? Yes. All right. My name's Gary Cranich and I'm your panel chair for this afternoon, and I'm joined by Sue Lewis, who is my scribe and able assistant, and we're going to be judging the 2019 AIPP Australian Alternative Process Photographer of the Year. So welcome to everybody out there listening in live stream, and welcome to the audience here in Sydney. I'm going to introduce our judges before we get into our category preamble. I have Jackie Dean, I have Bill Buckman, I have Karen Alsop, I have Peter Rossi, and I have Jackie Rankin. Welcome, judges. Looking forward to the next phase of hearing from you. Alrighty. I'm just going to go through the category preamble for you now. This award aims to celebrate and reward excellence in imagination and craft in alternative and experimental photographic processes. The purpose of this category is to provide entrants with the opportunity to produce photographic works created by alternative, analogue or experimental techniques that would otherwise be ineligible for judging in any other category. Eligible processes may include, but are not limited to, historical and analogue processes, contemporary compositing processes such as collage, mixed media and 3D print processes that require the use of glasses. And as we've seen this afternoon, our judges have looked at this work in a tabletop format as per the book and the album categories, and they have scored the work, and now we're going to review and operate in a normal manner like we do with our print judging. As per the book and album awards, there is one overall winner selected as per the rules. Alrighty, our category as well, it is sponsored by Fujifilm. Thank you, Fujifilm Australia. And Fujifilm is one of the country's leading specialists in the field of mirrorless digital cameras and have been an APPA sponsor since the awards began, which is incredible. The Fujifilm range includes the new GFX 100, one of the first medium format mirrorless cameras, renowned for outstanding colour straight out of camera. The GFX and X series cameras and lenses will be at their stand to play with over the weekend. So get over and see the people from Fuji, and we thank you, Fujifilm, for your sponsorship. Alrighty, I'm just checking that our print handlers are good to go. They are. Our live stream is set and we're rolling. What I'm going to do is get our... we're going to ask for our first print, please. And I do have a caption to read. Judges, you don't need to jump up. You can stay in your chairs. Okay, and the caption for this image: underwater wide-angle macro image of a juvenile fish at the depth of approximately 9 metres off Flinders, Victoria. Print is a contact printed cyanotype intensified with hydrogen peroxide. And this print has scored an 83, which is a silver award. However, yes, we have an elective challenge. You can challenge Jackie Dean. Jackie Dean, you're on 88. So take it away. Hang on. Just hang on, Jackie, through the mic. Yep.
I'm really enjoying the wonders of nature in this cyanotype, and the fact that it's been intensified really enhances those fish. I thought the balance of the composition was really beautiful, although it's a random thing with the fish swimming through, but obviously the photographer has waited for that decisive moment, and I felt it deserved a silver distinction.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Peter Rossi, you were on 78. I'm going to go to you for a comment. Yep.
Yes, I'm definitely happy. Is this on?
Just check that. Unmute.
Yep. I'm definitely happy to go up. I originally felt that this was way too busy and it was stopping me from getting through. Eventually, I accepted the fact that, yes, this is a school fish and there's meant to be lots there, and then that was like extra information, which was really good for me. I love the blue feeling through there. It's so watery. Yeah, I'm definitely going
Okay.
up.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Karen, you were on 82, I think, correct? Can I hear something from you?
Yes, Jackie, I think it fit really well in the silver range for me. I did enjoy the choice of subject matter to match the cyanotype, but I'm willing to potentially come up too, so I'm listening.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. And Jackie, you do have right of reply now. Sorry, Bill, you want to add something? Sorry, Bill, I didn't see you
I
there.
would, thank you very much. I think the primary attraction of this for me was the whimsy of the scene itself. Printed small like this, first it almost presents like an aquarium scene in miniature, and then you realise it was actually shot underwater, so there's a degree of difficulty there. But it's got a beautiful composition. I support Jackie, pretty much everything Jackie said. It's got excellent composition and a real sense of flow, but there's still that sense of slight magical undersea world about it, you know. There's a little bit of fantasy about this image, which I think is very attractive, particularly when it's translated into this older form of photography.
Okay, thank you, Bill. I'll come back to you now, Jackie.
Well, I don't think I need to say very much more. I'll only be reiterating, other than I will add that the diagonal, that my eyes just seeing diagonally across to the plants in the right-hand corner, and it really adds to this image. It's a real image. It's where they live, and the translucency of the fish is just beautiful. So I encourage you all to go up.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Now, Jackie, your score of 88 stays. All our other judges, you have your flip books there with you. If you could hold up your new score, Jackie, your score stays. The current score is 83. And we have a silver with distinction. I'm going to read the scores out for you, Sue Lewis. We have another 88, an 86, an 86 and an 86. And this printer's scored 87, a silver with distinction. Okay. Thank you, judges. And print handlers, could we have our next print, please? Okay, there's no caption with this image, and this image has scored 78. Are we happy to accept our 78? We are. Okay. I'm going to go to you, Jackie Rankin, for a comment, if you could, for the photographer.
Yes, to bring this up into a more an award range, I think we're looking at having more detail in those highlights. The process changed in some way, maybe a different, less contrast in it, and the background was quite big and distracting. But
Okay.
well done.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah. So thank you, Jackie. So Bill, you wanted to add something further for Jackie?
I was just saying that images in this category present a challenge to everyone, not only the viewing audience, but also to the judges. We work very hard from first principles about whether it's a good photograph or not, but then we take into account process, presentation, and all those sorts of things. So sometimes it's good to have a bit more of a conversation about these things to better explain them. I saw this as a capture reminiscent of specimens captured for museums in sort of field expeditions, almost taxonomic. And its presentation in this manner speaks to that era as well. But then you have to consider its photographic qualities, which is what Jackie spoke about. So, you know, I think a little bit more free rein in the actual conversation about these is going to be useful.
Great. Okay. All righty. Thank you, Bill. And print handlers, could we have our next print, please? Okay, so there's no caption with this print as well, and this print has scored a 75. And we're happy to accept that. I think I will go to. I think I'll go to you, Karen, for a comment, if I could.
This print at 75, professional practice, I guess in this category, it can be sometimes hard to specify what is professional practice, but I thought that this particular print had some strength to it, it had some symmetry, it had reflections, but the photographer could experiment a bit more with the procedure and in refining that.
Okay, thank you, Karen. And Peter, yeah.
And can I just add that I think this process that they're using would be way more suited to an older style architecture than the sharp modern style.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, judges. All righty. Could we have our next print, please? Okay. This print has scored an 88, a silver with distinction. And straight away, round of applause from the audience, an 88 is fantastic. But we're not finished with, because I saw two hands in the air so quick, I think they popped their shoulders out. We have two judges in the gold range. Karen, you're on 98.
I am. This absolutely stood out to me.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that this is an automatic challenge.
Right.
Okay, you don't get a right of reply. I'm going to hear from everybody here, but lead out, and this is So auto, you have one chance to speak. Away go. Yep.
All right, this has everything that we're requiring for a gold distinction. First of all, the subject matter in there, there's humour, it's classic, it's old comedy, it's slapstick. The whole capture is just brilliant, and it fits so perfectly with the process that's been used, and also the presentation and the old box. Everything about this is completely standout, I believe, in this category. I can't fault it. The actual image is, the areas that need to be sharp are sharp. There's detail in there. It's just been done very, very well. So I really want to encourage you to come right up. This absolutely stood out to me.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. Jackie Rankin, I'm going to go to you. You're on 82, I think, there, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I missed that mark. When we're seeing it here, projected three-dimensionally through a camera, it's sitting up there in a beautiful way as presented. And I'm listening more, but perhaps I was concerned about the highlights, but all the things that you love about it I like too, and that were in my comments. Perhaps it was also early on when I was going through my cycle of seeing all the work. But yeah, I'm listening and I'm going to reward it well.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Jackie Dean, I'm going to hear from you as well.
Yeah, I gave this a silver distinction. I'm happy to listen more. I felt that it's all about the photographer when the subject is looking at the camera, and in a way it was slightly corny, and maybe that was deliberate, but I felt that's why I pulled it down to a silver distinction, not pulling it down, but I felt a silver distinction was appropriate. Also, the box, I wish it related to the subject in a better way. Maybe it was from the same period, or I'd like to know more about the presentation. It's really hard to read the label on the box, but if it related to the rocket that he's sitting on, or some sort of engineering part, I thought that would actually tie the two together.
Okay,
But
thank you, Jackie. So I'm going to hear from everybody. I'm going to come to you now, Peter Rossi, because we have a auto challenge in gold. So Peter, you were in silver range.
Silver, yes, and I'm definitely happy to go up. I do love the hammed up nature of the whole thing. It's just Three Stooges all over again. And the tuba player in the background, that's It's just so fantastic. She's looking there, she's enjoying it. It's the whole hem up nature of it, yes. And also, when I came to it, the box was closed. And I opened it, and oh, pleasant surprise. So that's another little gimmick.
Thank you, Peter. Okay, Bill, you were also supporting in the gold range.
Oh, very
at
much
93.
so. I scored this automatically in the 90s. I chose 93, and it's probably a bit mean, actually, but this is vaudeville. It's vaudeville. So the whole point about eyes to camera, it's not eyes to camera, it's not eyes to photographer, it's eyes to the audience. So this is being played for laughs. And it's a scene, it's perfectly expressed in this medium. You know, and the fact that I love what Peter said about finding a closed box and you open it up, it's almost like a shadow play, you know, or one of those things that you put a nickel into and you looked inside and the pictures flicked around. It's just a wonderful, it's pictorially, it's very strong, it's wonderfully presented. And as for photographic imperfections, we're talking about old-fashioned processes here. We're talking about photography in days when perfection was difficult. And we don't much care about that because the content of this picture really overwhelms any technical deficiencies.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Now, judges, could you all rescore? The image is currently sitting on 88. And while those scores come in, let's see where we're going. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a 96, a 98, a 94, a 93 and a 95, which we have a gold with distinction at 95. Fantastic, thank you, judges. And you will forgive me if I am sort of not moving as quickly as I normally do with my scoring. We're not using iPads. Sue and I are doing this on the fly. So thank you, judges, with your flip cards. We're getting there. Okay. Print handlers, could we have our next print, please? And this print comes with a caption. Annas Australian Garden, traditional cyanotype sun prints with various tones. And this print has scored a 78. Yes, yes, and Jackie, you can challenge. You were on 84, so do we have a challenge? Yeah, hand in the air, okay. Yep, Jackie's going to challenge, and Jackie, you're on 84.
I'll start with something. I really enjoyed the patchwork idea, and I think the colour palette is absolutely beautiful, these sun prints. The thing that brought it down from a silver distinction were the elements, the real seed pods and flowers. I just felt that without that it would have been a much stronger print. But it's a lovely idea, and I think beautifully handled.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie Rankin, you were on 74. Can I come to you, please, now?
Yes, the three-dimensional elements I thought pulled it down a lot, and all the individual elements together, I didn't think they made a stronger whole. That's the reason why I was in that lower scoring range. To make it stronger for me, I'd like to see all those panels come together in a more meaningful way.
I'm going to go. I'll go to you, Peter. What was you were on
81.
Okay, you're on 81. Okay, yeah, I need to come to you now on 81. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed the hexagonal shapes and the way they juxtaposed against each other, the light and darks. It seemed to emphasise the whole fabric, the cellular fabric of nature that the cells pull together to make a whole plant, a whole being, a whole anything. I think it's silver for sure.
Thanks, Peter. And Jackie, I'll come back to you for right of reply now. Yeah.
Not going to ask anybody else. Okay. I suppose it's this patchwork. I used to do a lot of patchwork quilting, and to me, I love those subtle colours. They're all really subdued, beautiful colours, and I think they work really well together. And then hidden in those little hexagonals are little bits of nature. And, you know, we're looking at sun prints, not general photography with a camera, with a digital camera. So I feel that these are pieces of plant that have been placed there and then put into the sun. So they're not going to be very clear. And I think what we have in front of us is absolutely a wonderful piece of art.
Thank you, Jackie. Your score of 84 rests. This print is currently scoring 78. Judges, can you re-enter your scores for me? And away we go. And we have a 75, an 80, an 82, and a 78. And this print has scored an 80. It's a silver award. Alrighty, thank you, judges. Print handlers, could we have our next print, please? Okay, there's no caption with this print either. I'll just pass that on. And this print has scored a 78. And yes, Jackie, you can challenge that. Yeah, I just had to confirm that. Jackie, you're on an 84. You can challenge that, certainly. Yeah.
And yeah, this is the thing about personal choice, I guess. And I found a nice sense of life and the brushstrokes that have been applied here. There's a spontaneity that spoke of author and the person behind the image making process that put me into that silver range. Yeah, a lovely composition and all those elements. You could turn it around either way, up and down, and it was working really well at 84.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Peter Rossi, I'm going to go to you. You were on 72.
Yes, I've found for me it was really just a descriptive photograph. It didn't take me any further than giving me information of plant and leaf structure. I just didn't get emotional with it, but I do have to comment on the fact that some of them tend to out of focus, which gave it a 3D feel. You could feel that they were out of the so-called line of focus. They were probably just laid down on something. So I did enjoy that fact, but it just didn't take me any further than a leaf which I can see when I walk outside.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Bill, I'm going to go to you. I think you're pretty close to the score on...
Yeah, look, I gave this a 78, which indicates a very solid level of high professional practice. Like Peter, I felt it's fairly standard subject matter and fairly standard treatment, albeit very nicely done, but I just think it hits the high professional range and doesn't really get into the award range for me. Okay,
thanks, Bill. Jackie Dean, I'm going to come to you because you had some support. You're on 80.
Yeah, it must be a female thing, Jackie. I gave it an 80. I really enjoyed the medium that this has been printed on. And it's like a silk or a Japanese fine art paper. And I thought it really worked well on the medium, and the subject really fits well. What else did I say? Yeah, I can't really say any more, but I'm in support of Jackie.
Okay, thank you, Jackie Dean. Jackie Rankin, your right of reply.
And I think that's what it was. It was all those elements, including the surface that it was printed on that we can't see here up on our monitor. And I'm coming back to that brush strokes. The brush strokes just being that one element, that human element that's come in to a subject that is, yes, just very simple leaves. But the choice of the small leaves and the ones around the edges is what it did for me. And I think it was the whole unit as a complete, including surface that we're not seeing here, that brought it into that silver range. So I'm trying, maybe you should go up and have another look at it on the table.
Ah, that'd be nice. But yeah, we're going to keep rolling. So thank you, Jackie Rankin. Jackie, your score of 84 remains. Judges, could you please rescore? And we have a 76, a 79, a 78 and an 80, which... Okay, so it's gone up 1 point to 79. So what I'm going to do straight away here, folks, I'm going to go straight to this and do a review immediately, okay? It's currently sitting on 79, okay? I'm going to allow a review. Yep, thumbs up, okay. Does this image go to 80, a silver award? Or I have 3 thumbs up. This is an 80. Thank you, team. Print handlers, could we have our next print, please? And we do have a caption. I'll just read that out for you. Traditional wet plate collodion image produced as part of a commentary on the effects of consumerism, business and cash distribution and its effects throughout the world. And this print has scored an 88, a silver with distinction. However, I love saying however, and we know why, don't we? Because Jackie Dean, her hand was in the air so quick, again her arm nearly fell off. Jackie Dean, you're on 92.
Am I alone?
No, you're not alone. You have some support.
Oh, that's
You have
good.
a 91.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I think this shows superior craft and skill, and it's a wet plate collodion. I love the narrative. I think it's really strong and a great idea. It's beautifully printed and presented, and I think every image has to have an idea to win that gold award, and this to me has every element of a gold. So I'd like my fellow judges to continue looking at it.
Thank you, Jackie. Okay, I'm going to hear from all of you here, just so you know. Bill Buckman, I'm probably going to come to you now, I think, on 83.
Thank you, Gary. I have nothing bad to say about this. I judged it early and didn't go back to it before I maybe had sort of established a rhythm for judging these things. But what I wrote was, it's a very effective socio-economic commentary expressed in a way that is formal, but it also comes across as tongue-in-cheek. So I responded to the humour in it. I think the humour is very good. I also responded to the beautiful production. I mean, we are used to seeing super clean, super manipulated digital images. This is old style photography with all the highlights and tones and foibles of chemical prints. And it's really lovely to look into shadows and see detail that haven't been created. They've just been captured by the process. 83 may be a little low on this. I did think it was definitely a silver. I'm not convinced it's a gold, which I kind of reserve for very special images, but I think it's well worthy of more consideration.
Thank you, Bill. I think I'll go to you, Peter Rossi, now. You're on 87, I think. Is that right?
Yes, 87. And I probably only have great things to say about it. And you would probably ask, why did you only give it 87? I applaud the size of it. It's only about 5 inches high, which commands your attention and your scrutiny. You have to go in to see it. When you get in there, the tones, as you said, Bill, are superb. Absolutely. It's the whole grade of tones, everything's there. Also, something that I don't know if everybody has picked up, and maybe it's my weird sense of looking at things, but there are 2 flash flares as eyes, and the equator line is like a big greedy smile. If you could go and have a look, and when you see that, I tell you what, straight away, it elevates it. It's like, I'm in my coffin, but I'm still in my little dream of taking it with me or something, which I can't. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Jackie Rankin, do you want to add something? You're on 86. If you don't want to, I can move along.
Well, just that, it was, I thought, one of the most superior examples of the process that I was looking at, and I'm liking hearing all this conversation. So yeah, we're going to go to it, I guess.
Okay. So, Karen, you're on 91. You have some support for where Jackie Dean was, so yeah.
Yes, I do believe it's a gold for sure. We're looking at alternative practice, and we're looking at images that require certain processes, and this has been produced with excellence, but you go beyond that because then the story is so strong. So you've got both the production and the technique and the story. You've got the money down the bottom that's subtly there, but it's just, you can see it all in the print. Just the whole thing is really, really beautifully executed. So I believe it should be gold. Let's go up.
Thank you, Karen. And Jackie, I'm going to come back to you for one closing comment.
Well, we'll say no more. It's perfect.
Okay. All right, thank you, judges. Jackie, your score of 92 remains. The current score is 88. Judges, can I ask you to rescore, please? Okay, and we have a 91, a 94, a 93 and a 90. We have a 92. You notice how I stalled there for a minute while Sue manually added that up in her head. We have a 92, a gold award. Thank you, judges. All right. Print handlers, could we have our next print, please? Okay. I have a caption. I have a caption. This collection celebrates 5 years of commissioned commercial advertising for Impro Mafia Festival productions, reimagining them in 3D. And for the, just for everyone in the audience, this is a Viewmaster and the images are within the Viewmaster. Okay? All right. And this print, let's call it a print, okay, has scored 84, a silver award. And here comes my next favourite word. However, we have a challenge from Karen Alsop, who is on 91.
Okay, this was different. This is something that we have not seen. It captures you. You get in there, you look through it, everything's three-dimensional. How it's done, I have no idea, but it's created, the images in there are superb. They're actual images, but then they're three-dimensional. I wish we could see it on, the live stream. You can't see what it is that we saw, but it's really clever. It's different. It's taking alternative practice to the next level. So I would love you guys to come up to gold at least. So let's talk about it.
Thank you, Karen. I'm going to come to you now, Jackie Rankin, on 77.
Yeah, and I gave it 77. Yes, it was unique, but the experience of using the camera I found a bit awkward. I didn't enjoy seeing the replication of some of the words within it, and the continuity of the images after each other, and the storytelling parts of that. But I'm listening because you're talking of gold, and that's amazing. So yeah, the storytelling images weren't coming together, but it's so unique.
Thank you, Jackie. Peter Rossi, you were on 84.
84, yes, and that seems to sit quite well with me because which 84 is great, and I was impressed with the different style of presentation, and once I worked out, even though I used that as a child, believe it or not, I don't look that old, but once I got over the novelty of it, it just seemed to be a random collection of things, even though the subject matter did suit that old feel of click, click. But I wouldn't go, for me, much further than my 84.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Bill Buckman, you're on 87.
Yeah, not far behind Karen. Difficult to score this one because it is so different. So we've heard the word different, we've heard the word clever. I would add the word fun. It's great fun. I just found the presentation, the size, the clarity of the images a bit frustrating. So I'm really rewarding its points of difference, which we've all mentioned, but pretty much happy with where I am because of the style of presentation, the mechanics behind it all.
Thank you, Bill. And Jackie Dean, would you like to add some more there?
I thought Lord of the Thrones was actually the strongest image within the, how many were there? 4 or 5. And they didn't always gel one after the other. I felt there was not really a continuity with them. I thought, yes, and all the words that you've said, I agree, but I scored at 83.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. And Karen, you're right to reply now.
All right, I'm going to address that story within. This, as we've heard, is commercial images from the last 5 years. So think of this more like it would be a portfolio, that's something that someone could show potential clients. Yeah, a show reel, exactly. So it's not that the stories have to join up, it's that this is the best of the best over the years, and this is a really unique way of displaying it. So I think it's quite ingenious.
Thank you, Karen. Karen, your score of 91 stays. The print is currently sitting on 84. Judges, if I could ask you to rescore this for me. And we have an 85, an 88, an 85 and an 82, which takes our print to an 86, a silver with distinction. Okay, thank you, judges. Print handlers, could we have our next print, please? I've just been corrected. It's piece, print, viewmaster. It could be anything. So I'm just trying to come up with a word. Alrighty. There's no caption. Okay, back on. There's no caption with this image, by the way. And this print has scored an 80, a silver award. Okay. I'm going to go for a comment from somebody. Who would like to? I think we're all fairly close together there, judges. So, Jackie, yeah. Mike.
Sorry. I thought this was a delicate image on a delicate medium again, and I really enjoyed the shimmer of gold, which I felt replicated the sun coming through at the top.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. And Peter, yeah, what?
Just quick, Mike. You said delicate, my word was precious, and the pearlescent quality of the paper I felt brought me in, and it really did take me back to that time. So it did have that power to do that.
Thank you, judges. And print handlers, could we have our next print, please? And our caption is, image is a printed agratype alternate contact print. It was produced as part of a commentary on emissions control and targets. And this print has scored an 83, a silver award. However, there's my word, however, we have a challenge from Jackie, who was on 90, correct?
No, 88.
Sorry.
Sorry. Miss Jackie D?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm doing this on the fly, remember?
It must
I don't
be a
have
Jackie
an iPad.
thing today.
Okay. We have a challenge. There we go. Well, you know you got some support.
Yeah, I've got some support from one end anyway.
You're on 90, Jackie Dean.
Agratype. I felt this had such a strong narrative, and we can still save the world from past polluters of the environment. And I'm just really enjoying the composition with these hands reaching out, whether they're from the grave, going to the growing plant there, and then the pollution at the back. I used to teach photography, and one of my students actually had a plant in a pile of earth because we were talking about the environment, and it brought back all those memories. And I think it's a very strong image, and I'm with you, Jackie.
Okay. Thank you, Jackie Dean. Bill Buckman, you know I'm looking at you. You're on 75.
You know I'm looking at you. I'm dragging the chain on this one. I gave it a 75, and my complaint was not about the the print itself, which has all the beautiful qualities that the other print of this type, of this medium had. What is it, an Agra type? Right. Beautiful somber tones, foreboding tones, very very velvety in its presentation. Lovely. But my complaint is with the construction of the picture. I just think this message is way over the top. It's so heavy-handed and obvious. I would love to have seen that vegetative element, that little plant, come forward to where the hands are and get rid of the hands. I just think this is just way over the top in terms of the messaging in it.
Okay.
That's my problem.
Thank you, Bill. I'm going to go to you, Karen. You okay? So Jackie Rankin, I'm going to come to you. You're on 88 there.
Yeah, I think there's a surreality to those hands that brings it to an era and a genre of image of that's the stylistic part of it that works. So I really like the hands and the three-pronged plant that's like a obviously growth, but also those brown tones suiting the subject matter so well. So yes, we're now thinking about, I was on 88, and I think I'll join Jackie on gold.
Okay, Jackie, you know I'm coming back to you now, don't you?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of things that Bill says, but not on this occasion. It's just a personal preference, and I'm enjoying the hands, these reaching out hands, and if you look at the background, the industrial background that Bill Brandt used to photograph, and from the north of England, I think it's absolutely sumptuous and beautifully printed.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Your score of 90 stays. The print is currently sitting on 83. Judges, could I ask you to rescore? And we have an 87, an 82, a 77 and a 90. So I'm just going to see what's happening with those numbers there. Thank you. We have an 85, a silver with distinction. Thank you, judges. Could we have our next print, please? Print handlers doing a fabulous job there. You've been so patient. And our caption, Miss New York City. With each footstep, you reveal another part of your magic. And this print has scored an 85, a silver with distinction. But as quick as we applaud everyone in the audience here, yes, an 85 silver with distinction. Bill Buckman has his hand in the air. Bill is on 90. Bill, there's an elective challenge. Take it away.
Thank you. Maybe it's just the fact that I love New York, but and am easily seduced by images of New York. But this one is really interesting if you look into the story of it. I think it's a very clever presentation of the age-old theme or idea that New York is a city that never sleeps or fails to surprise. You know, the messaging is fairly subtle, but it's clever. It's really delicately done, and it suggests also with the little bits of gold leaf scattered through it that it's also a city where the streets, are if not paved, at least flecked with gold. It's got some lovely painterly strokes which add an air of fantasy to it. I just thought it was a really accomplished expression of the photographer's association with or relationship with New York, and I thought it was very clever. It's up there in that gold range for me.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Jackie Rankin, I'm going to throw to you now at 75.
Yeah, and thanks, Bill, for letting me have another look at this. Initially, I thought it was a complicated presentation and the 3D elements were distracting. But as I'm allowed to contemplate it more, maybe it's sort of like old billboards and there are the layers of paper that's come off. So yeah, I'll be coming up into a higher high range, but you're after an 85, which is a silver distinction. So, you know, for me, I think I couldn't really justify those gold marks. I thought they were distracting. And the brush marks, I really love those. So.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Peter Rossi, I think I'll hear from you now on 88.
Yes, 88. Firstly, the gold paint, foil, whatever, really it really caught my attention. Something about gold. It made me feel that there's something special here. And it brought me in to look for what's special about the place. And then I got involved with the city. And the fact that there are so many scenes and so many unseen parts to it and whatever. I also really love it's like looking through a misted window, the way a person just has rubbed their hand on their skyscraper window, their arm, to reveal the city below and all of its secrets. So I gave it 88 and I'd be happy to go further.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. Bill Buckman, you know I'm coming back to you for your right of reply.
Sure. New York is a city that never fails to surprise. Every block you walk down has got some element of human experience that opens your eyes. The final comment here is that it's also a beautiful juxtaposition of the grandeur of New York, the background image, and the dilapidation of New York, which is the peeling poster style applique, if you like, that's been placed over it. So I think it's just a really complete observation of this city in one beautiful image.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Bill, your score of 90 stays. This print is currently sitting on 85. Judges, could I ask you to rescore for me? And we have we have an 88, an 85, a 90 and a 91. It's a gold award. Oh.
Good majority, yes.
Yep, thank you. See, I did that even quicker than Sue. Yeah, it's a gold award. Well done. Okay. Could we have our next print, please? Just bear with me. I'm just going to check this caption. Okay. So no caption. And this print has scored 77. Are we happy with 77? We are? Yeah. Okay. So what I might do, I think I'll get a comment from, might go to you, Karen. Comment for our photographer.
I guess the reason that I didn't go higher was I struggled to understand what it was about, what was going on. It's quite abstract, so perhaps the photographer, artist, designer could give us some more clues in a future iteration of it.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Anyone else want to add anything more there? Are we happy there? Yeah. Jackie, where are you going? Yeah. Jackie Dean?
I'm not sure if I could see a koala in the tree on the right-hand side. Oh, is it a koala? Where is it? Yeah, that is a koala. Yes, right, okay. I think it was let down really by the element on the left-hand side. I couldn't really quite see how it fits in to this image.
Okay, thank you, judges. And print handlers, could we have our next print, please? And there is no caption with this image. And this print has scored an 88, a silver with distinction. Oh, here comes my favourite word. You know what it is. It's however. Bill, your hand went up a little bit quicker than Jackie's. Bill, I'm going to accept your challenge. Bill is on 93.
This is one of those images that sort of could go either way, but I was so impressed by the presentation of it and the clever application of photographic technology in a way, old-fashioned as it may be. I think it's a wonderful reimagining of a museum-style display of insect specimens complete with the glass dome. I love that convex glass dome over the top. It's exquisitely presented. You know, it's flawlessly presented here. And, you know, we're almost dealing with a kaleidoscopic presentation of this insect. At first, I was struggling with the idea of whether it would have been better with 4 different insects separated from one another. But if you look closely, no 2 of these images are quite alike. They're all different. And so it's really showing you different aspects of the same creature. But I just think the imagination that's gone into the execution and presentation of this has brought it up into the Gold Award range for me.
Thank you, Bill. Jackie Rankin, I'm going to come to you now on 85. You're in Silver Distinction range.
Yeah, and the appropriate presentation with a lovely, delicate image, all those things were coming together. 85, I was a bit too tough, I think.
All right, Peter Rossi, I'll come to you now, Peter. What you were on? I haven't got that score.
Yes, I was on 88, and I'd like to add a few more positives to it. I really felt looking through the magnifying glass made it an experience. It really was a different feel to looking at any other print that I've seen all weekend. It gave a reality to the specimens. Like, you almost felt I was looking at insects and not just a 2D photograph of them. And having 4 of them like that, with just their subtle little differences, really made me think about stick insects as individuals, and each with different personalities. It could have quite easily, because I believe it, well, I shouldn't say what I believe, that it's been printed, that the quality of everything makes me feel it has been digitally handled, which is great to me, and the presentation is something out of the box I haven't seen before. So they could have taken the shortcut and got one and but they're 4 different leg placements, and I've got a better, softer feeling towards stick insects after seeing that.
Ah, okay. All right. Thank you, Peter. Jackie, you are supporting Bill in the gold range.
I'm supporting Bill. I scored this 90. I'm very happy to come up. In fact, I was so mystified by this, I had to go and ask Gary whether they were real insects. But I'm really enjoying the lens over the top, because it's like our eye looking down into it. And the shape that's appeared from matching all those insects together like that is just lovely. The square with the circle, and everyone is different. And there's a little shadow underneath them, and which makes them look so real. And the delicate gossamer wings, it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm going up.
Okay, thank you, Jackie.
Tough.
All righty. Bill, you have right of reply.
I don't need to add much more. Peter used the word experience, which it is, and Jackie has reinforced that by saying she felt she was looking at real insects, which was my first impression as well. The fact that Peter has made friends with these insects, I think we should be naming them now. Give them each a name. I think the application of skill at various levels here is really important to note.
Thank you, Bill. Okay. Bill, your score of 93 stays. The print is currently sitting on 88. Judges, could we please rescore? And we have a 90, a 94, a 90, here it comes, a 92, and a 95, which we all know is a gold. As we quickly calculate out what it is, I'll stall for 3 more seconds. It's a gold award. It's a 93. Thank you, judges. Print handlers, could we have our next print, please? And the caption reads, "The gnarled and twisted branches of this ancient wisteria were illuminated in the afternoon light, reminiscent of the tortured figures seen in paintings of hell and damnation by Dutch masters of the 15th century. This image was contact printed using an alternative process, the Van Dyke Brown process. And this print has scored 79. And you know what my next word is, don't you? Yeah, see, we have a challenge, though. I'm sure we do. I'm just looking at you, Jackie. I can read you like a book. You are on 88.
I think I grow wisteria, and I just love the shapes, the gnarled shapes, and I could see what the photographer was seeing. I see little human beings in this, and I think it's well presented, it's beautifully printed, and it's well seen. And I felt that this was of superior quality and craft and skill.
Thanks, Jackie. I'm going to come to you now, Jackie Rankin. I'm going to do that. Yep. You're on 77. Yep.
Okay, I'm not the lowest end of the scoring range, but what I find it interesting is that I approached it as an image first up, because it's a contact image, and I found I was just getting distracted by the big white patch on the background on the left, the bottom corner, and that was taking me out of the print like a silver print range. So I scored at 77 for that, really.
Okay, so Karen, I'm going to come to you on a 78 as well.
Yeah, I think there was just a couple of things that were not bringing me up to that silver range. The supportive beam in the middle, the angle, the ground, the angle that it's shot on isn't straight on. So there's some distractions in it. It was printed very, very well. It was really good detail in it, but it was just those things that didn't bring me up to that next level.
Thanks, Karen. Jackie Dean, I'll come back to you now.
Okay. I'm listening to what you say, and maybe if this image had been cropped, it would have been a lot stronger. I still feel it deserves a silver, so it would be good if you could come up.
Thank you, Jackie. Your score of 88 remains. The printer's currently sitting on 79. Judges, could I ask you to rescore, please? And we have a 78, a 77, a 77, and a 78. And you're 88, Jackie. So this printer's scored a majority 79, okay? So what I'm going to do straight away, we're going to go straight to a review immediately, okay? This is a method I'm going to use because that's the sort of person I am, all right? So does this print go to an 80? Give me a thumbs up, or does it stay at 79? The print stays at 79. Thank you. Could we have our next print, please, print handlers? I'm just finding our caption, bear with me. Okay. The beauty within. Toned traditional cyanotype on fabric with gold stitching. And this print has scored an 80, a silver award. Okay, I'd like to get a comment from someone, certainly. Who would like to... Peter, could you give us some comments for our photographer?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I gave it 82. The sewn gold thread really added the effect that this piece of material is extra special to somebody. I couldn't work out if it was a handkerchief, tablecloth or whatever, but to sew gold thread through something, so it gave it an extra feeling of preciousness to me. And I really felt it was history on your hand with the wrinkles and the way it's been crimped together. And it really brought out to me questions like who, where, when, why, and if a picture can do that, it's powerful. So, commendation to the
Thank you,
photographer.
Peter. All good. Thank you. All righty. Could we have our next print, please? Our caption, underwater photograph of commercial working diver in original copper helmet and suit dating back to the 1950s. Image is contact printed using traditional cyanotype formula intensified with hydrogen peroxide. And this print has scored an 81, a silver award. Karen, I might go to you for a comment.
Yes, this was a great choice of subject matter for this cyanotype. The blues, the helmet that's been chosen, the taking you back in time. So well done. Good silver.
Okay. All righty, thank you, Karen. Could we have our next print, please? Okay, there's no caption with this image as well. And this print has scored 83, a silver award. Yeah. But, however, nevertheless, we have a challenge from Bill Buckman. Bill is on 92.
Unaccustomed as I am to being the high man on the totem pole here, I looked at this and then I went away and I came back and looked at it again. There's something powerful about this that just kept bringing me back. I think it's a fabulous presentation of a very disturbing scene. It's a perfect illustration for a fairy tale or a ghost story. So it's got this ambiguous narrative quality about it, which is really reinforced by the presentation. This old-fashioned film holder, kind of marked with time, and there's history in the frame of the film holder itself, and there's mystery. So there's history and mystery both in the same shot, and so I gave it big points for on all of those things, and the fact that it's a one-off, it's a wet emulsion, it's a really fabulous little capture. I think it's certainly better than a silver. I'd like to encourage another look at this.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Jackie Rankin, I'm going to come to you now. You're on 76.
Yeah, at the other end, I found that the surface of the image really some bubbly and not a very well processed. Sorry, getting a bit of feedback there. Maybe that's it. There's a ghost coming out at me because there's this little person there that is cloaked, but I couldn't see enough detail in there. There was tended to be blown out. But I mean, it's a motive for sure. The other thing I wondered whether this what it was in added to it, whether that was just a distraction with all the writing around the edge and the colour there. Maybe that was the things that were letting me down. But I'm listening, so.
Thanks, Jackie. Peter Rossi, I'll come to you. You can announce your score for me as I go to you.
Yes, my score was 82, but I wish I could show you my sheet. I first gave it 77 because I was judging it as I can see no detail in the subject matter. And then it absolutely grew on me, and then I didn't want to see any personality in that person because now that washed out, human, angelic type shape encompasses all of us. It's like all of humankind is there in amongst all the tree destruction. So it's interesting. 77, it's there, and then scratch out to 82, and I'll scratch it out again to go a little bit higher.
Thanks, Peter. Karen, you're on 86.
Yeah, I was on 86, but I wrote down silver distinction to gold, so I was edging up there. I can hear the music playing. You sort of feel like you're in the midst of a spooky movie, and if you can just you just sit with it for a bit, and it grows on you. So I think it's grown on all of us, and I'll be coming up.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Bill, back to you.
Clearly, the spirit moved in Jackie. Look, it's creepy. It's small. You have to look close. The more you look at it, the more it draws you into this tiny little talisman of an image. I like the fact that the surface texture of it is imperfect as well, because this is an image that's about to disappear before your very eyes. It's just holding on. It's seducing your imagination. I think it's all about the story here, and really well presented. Let's give it another go.
Thank you, Bill. Okay. Bill, your score of 92 stays. The print is currently sitting on 83. Judges, could we please rescore? And we have an 85, a 92, an 86 and an 84, which is an 88, a silver with distinction. Thank you. Thank you, judges. And print handlers, could we have our next print, please? Okay, there's no caption with this image, and this print has scored 81, a silver award. Okay, could I have a comment from someone there? Who would like to talk about this print for the photographer with some feedback, some ideas? Yeah, Karen, yeah.
I think it scores well at the 81. That's what I scored it. The embroidery frame is a good choice there, and it's lovely composition with her down in the left-hand corner, and the way that that stripe of colour is through the middle and not right to the edge. So I think keep exploring this process and coming up with new ideas.
Okay, yes, Peter, yeah.
And just added with the, what did you call it, the circular sewing embroidery frame, really adds to the, or gives you this feeling of the girl's outfit is homemade as well. And so it really does add a lot to it.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Okay, so print handlers, I'm just looking your way. I'm pretty sure it is. Folks, that's it. That's the end of the alternative processes category for 2019. But Bill Buckman's going to say something first.
I just wanted to express, I'm hoping on behalf of my fellow judges as well, what a pleasure it's been to judge this category. It's new this year. What a kick it's been. It's been terrific. Such diversity, such talent, such quality. We introduced this as an experimental category this year on public viewing. I hope that there's an appreciation of it in the live stream, and you get some of the pleasure from it that we've had judging it. And I'd really like to encourage our members to consider entering this category again in the future, because it was well supported this year, but it deserves even more entries. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. I'd just like to say thank you to our judges, Jackie Dean, Bill Buckman, Karen Alsop, Peter Rossi and Jackie Rankin, and my wonderful scribe, Sue Lewis, for helping me get through these mental calculations on the fly. My name's Gary Kranich. I was your panel chair. Thank you to my print handlers. You were fantastic. We got through, and we look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we judge our panel here? I'm nearly tempted to